The Yemeni armed forces, with the help and grace of Allah Almighty, has done its first military attacks with a barrage of ballistic missiles against military sensitive attacks in Israel in the south of the occupied Palestine.
In 2026, Iran launched a direct military confrontation against one of the most powerful military alliances on Earth. America responded with its full arsenal: carriers, stealth jets, guided missiles worth billions of dollars. And yet, Iran is still standing, still fighting, still dictating terms. How does a country with a military budget of $10 billion survive and humiliate a superpower spending $860 billion a year? The answer will change everything you thought you knew about this war. Before we go further, let us establish the battlefield. The United States operates the most powerful military force ever assembled in human history. 11 carrier strike groups, over 800 overseas bases across 70 countries. A defense budget that exceeds the combined spending of the next 10 nations. F-35 stealth fighters, Tomahawk cruise missiles, nuclear submarines patrolling every ocean on Earth. On paper, this is not a contest. Iran's military budget, roughly $10 billion per year, less than 2% of America's. Their Air Force flies aircraft from the 1970s. Their surface navy would be destroyed within hours by the U.S. Fifth Fleet stationed directly outside their doorstep in Bahrain. And yet, for 45 years, Iran has not only survived American pressure, it has expanded. It has grown bolder. And in 2026, it launched a war that America cannot seem to finish. Ask yourself, how? The answer is asymmetric warfare, and it is the most dangerous military doctrine the United States has ever faced in the modern era. Iran does not fight America directly. Instead, over 4 decades, Iran built what military strategists call the axis of resistance, a network of proxy forces embedded across 7 countries: Hezbollah in Lebanon, the Houthis in Yemen, Shia militias across Iraq and Syria, each one operating independently, each one a dagger pointed at American interests in the region. This network cannot be destroyed with a single airstrike. It cannot be eliminated with sanctions, because it was designed, from the beginning, to survive exactly that. Consider this. The Houthis, a militia group operating in one of the poorest countries on Earth, have successfully shut down 12% of global trade through the Red Sea. American destroyers have fired hundreds of millions of dollars worth of missiles trying to stop them, and the Houthis are still launching every single day. Why? Because you cannot bomb a strategy. You cannot sink an idea. That is Iran's asymmetric doctrine in practice. Every attack Iran cannot make directly, a proxy makes for them. Every cost Iran cannot impose openly, a militia imposes quietly. The United States spends billions responding. Iran spends thousands provoking. Why exactly is America's military strategy failing? There are 3 core reasons, and each one is more alarming than the last. Reason 1, the cost asymmetry problem. America fires a Standard Missile-3 to intercept a Houthi attack drone. That missile costs $4.2 million. The drone it intercepted? $2,000. Iran can sustain that economic equation almost indefinitely. America's defense budget cannot. This is not an accident. This is a deliberate financial attrition strategy designed to bleed the most powerful military on Earth, dollar by dollar, until the political cost becomes unbearable. Reason 2, the political will gap. America fights wars with one eye on the battlefield and one eye on the next election cycle. Iran's leadership operates on a generational timeline. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps has absorbed sanctions, assassinations, and airstrikes and has not changed its fundamental strategy in 45 years. American administrations change every 4 years. Iran's grand strategy does not. And in a long war, patience wins. Reason 3. The geography trap. Iran sits at the mouth of the Strait of Hormuz, the 21-mile choke point through which 20% of the world's entire oil supply flows every single day. Any major American military operation against Iran risks triggering the closure of that strait. The resulting energy shock could crash the global economy, including America's own. This gives Iran something no missile can buy: an unbreakable deterrent. America knows this, which is why, despite nearly half a century of hostility, a full-scale invasion of Iran has never happened. Before we get to what comes next, if this is the level of analysis you've been looking for, this is The Alleys. Subscribe now, because the classified file doesn't stop here. So where does this leave us right now, in 2026? Iran has accelerated its nuclear enrichment program to the point where international analysts now assess that Tehran could produce enough fissile material for a nuclear device within weeks, not months. America faces a decision it has been trying to avoid for 2 decades. Option 1. A direct military strike on Iran's nuclear facilities. The risk: Iranian retaliation through every proxy in the network. Strait of Hormuz closure, a regional war that pulls in Saudi Arabia, Israel, Turkey, and potentially Russia and China. Option 2. A new diplomatic agreement. A return to some form of nuclear deal. The risk: domestic political collapse, and the very real possibility that Iran continues enrichment anyway, using negotiations as cover. Option 3. Maintain maximum pressure sanctions while pursuing covert operations. The risk: Iran crosses the nuclear threshold before America can act, and at that point, all options change. None of these options are clean. None of them guarantee a positive outcome. And that right there is the definition of a failing strategy. When every option available to you is bad, your strategy has already failed. Here is the strategic assessment. Iran's doctrine is working, not because Iran is more powerful than the United States, but because Iran understands something America keeps relearning: that in modern warfare, victory is not about destroying your enemy. It is about making the cost of defeating you too high for your enemy to pay. The Strait of Hormuz remains open, but under threat. Iran's proxy network remains intact. Its nuclear program continues to advance, and the most powerful military force in human history finds itself, strategically, at a standstill. That is not a victory for Iran, but it is a failure for America's strategy in this region. The question now is not whether the current approach is failing. That answer is already clear. The question is, what comes next? And that is a classified file for another day.